Okay, here's my box set up, and here's what I'm going to be painting right straight ahead. Thinking like just an 8x10, a little small one, and I'm going to get started. Okay, what I want to do is I want to get some basic lines of the house with the shadow shapes so I don't go chasing shadows. Just going to get a little burnt umber, wet that down, and get moving on a sketch here.
Hey everybody, what's going on? This is going to be an interesting video. I had a gentleman stop and talk to me. You can see him right there. The whole time I was painting this. So there are going to be some clips because I just want to show you what I was up against in real time, just a few seconds here and there of just random talking he was doing, and I'm trying to concentrate on the painting. So it was pretty hilarious, but thought you might. What's even more funny is this spot that I was at is not really a popular kind of people going by spot, but then immediately here's this guy, so that's what made it kind of funny. I thought I was in a nice little corner of the urban environment, but what are you going to do? And I've been by this area many times, and these houses have always struck my fancy. And as you can see, I'm doing my usual guaranteed knock-in of value sketch with my burnt umber and such to get a base tones going, so I can get a feel for the darks and lights of the painting immediately. But in just a few moments, you're going to hear some dialogue here. So let's enjoy that for a few seconds, and I'll be back to you. Hold on.
And she's a registered English springer who's got an Irish temperament.
We used to have dogs. Now we're just down to cats. A cat now.
Rehabilitate the state.
Yeah.
Whenever I catch one or find one, or geez, one year I got 27 birds that were injured.
Whoa.
Two that shouldn't even be in town.
So there you go. That's what I was dealing with. You get the life stories of people. It's amazing. And of course, this conversation has been going on the whole time since I started the painting. So pretty incredible that I was even able to paint and all that crazy stuff. But here I am knocking in. I like to get the lights in quickly to really sort of have a key for the painting and start judging other values, especially the shadow. Sometimes we can make the shadows on white objects too dark. So I'm trying to get some life in the painting in that respect. And just slapping in some base tone of the shadow. You can always push and pull that warm or cool here and there. So now we're going to have just another moment of our nice little conversation. So be prepared.
Information of rocks and minerals provides me immediately with what I can make fireworks.
True.
Almost every world has. Oh, I don't care where you go, you got quartz. And if you got quartz, you can make a.
So yep, that's what I was up against. Here I am kind of just knocking in the dormer of the building next to the house. And there's a few things I'm going to change that later on you'll see when I do the analysis I failed to mention, so I'll go ahead and mention now. But I am going to change the color of the roof that ends up being a value that's close to trees to make it stand out a little more. But here I am just getting the shadows in on as the house is casting a shadow on that little knoll of the grass there. And getting in, again, some generic tones. Knocking those in. Of course, just mixing your yellows and blues in varying different combinations just to get a base tone. And as I'm trying to get this done, we have more conversation coming up in just a moment.
It comes to doing yours? No, I don't like so.
Yeah.
The word no is shorter to say than yes, so.
Yeah, that's too bad.
That's the way it is. I'm a combat veteran to boot. I was willing to give my life.
So you just gotta listen to people. Sometimes people just want to be heard, and they want to tell their stories. And I feel I'm an ambassador when I'm out there trying to spread the word about art or what I'm doing with my art. And you never know who's going to be a potential customer. People know people, or if you get a chance to get some private access to some land or something of that nature. So just gotta always be aware and open your eyes sometimes and ears.
1883, I think. And I was telling me about some Indian war, actually cowboy and Indian wars.
That's
And
cool.
I was a kid at what, 15 years old, if that. Still living in Jersey. And don't get the wrong impression about Jersey. Only the center section of Jersey City.
Okay, you heard the guy. Don't get the wrong impression of Jersey. But here I am. I usually like to knock in the shadow tones in a mass and then just go over them with some darker paint. And what's interesting about this, you know the dark paint's going to mix with a little bit of the shadow, whatever shadow tone you have. But it's a nice way to, for lack of a better term, gently put in your areas of detail and step back and get a glance at how you think they look in relationship to everything else. Then you can commit to stronger detail over that. And what's nice, if you were to get very close to the painting, you'll see that you really won't have hard edges too much, unless you really want them and put on the paint thicker, of course, to pull out certain critical areas. But it just really kind of sets the windows on that shadow side of the house. So something to be aware of. Now I'm just kind of starting with getting some sky holes in there, and I always kind of do the initial cutting of the trees, creating the shape of the trees. I get one or two strokes and then I pick up more paint. Unless I really want to blend an edge or something and have it ghost back, will I continue going back and forth, but just pick up more paint, wiping off excess just with the paper towel.
Dark spot in the meat. Not particularly care for it.
So it's pretty easy to find the pellets if they're in there then, obviously.
And I use number 6 anyway. Number 6 pellet. Well, everybody wanted to know why. They kept asking me, why is there a crow season, not a raven season? Because ravens don't go out in the country and eat your plant.
I should write a book by Plein painter called The People We Meet. That would be an interesting title. I'm sure everyone else has their tales to tell also.
I named Tom Burrowsby. I don't remember his name. I think it's Tom Burrowsby. His last name is Roseby anyway. He's guaranteed out 3 to 5 cans of beer at that one spot.
Wow.
And that's usually just for an hour or two of lunchtime.
Wow.
By the time I run into him at 2, 3 in the afternoon, he's plastered.
That's too bad.
And years ago now, I used to drink.
Sorry, folks, for putting you through this, but I had to share it with all you viewers out there to show you some of the trials we go through as YouTubers to create content for you guys. It was just like nonstop stories with this guy, just on and on and on. And sometimes, I'm really kind of in the zone, just painting, not really responding too much to his conversation, but he was just talking away and going on and on. Pretty interesting. I mean, I could see stopping for a few minutes talking to somebody, but I guess he's just doesn't have a lot of people to express things to. I have no idea.
Okay, here's what I got going. It's coming along pretty nice. I had to stop filming a little bit to put in the some little details and windows going on, but it's shaping up. And sorry I haven't been able to talk much. Had a visitor for like the whole process here, which, hey, if you put yourself out there plein air painting, that's what happens. I'm going to work on detailing out these windows here and get back to you, but give you a little pan in. Little view of the scene here. Shaping up. Okay, just to update here, I had to stop filming because I need to put in details of the windows and such. Just some arbitrary shapes in here for darkness to set off the railing that's catching the light. And I'm really liking how this is coming out. Looking pretty nice. I don't think I'm going to do too much more on site here. Clean up some of the edges around here, chisel out some shapes there with the white, and then maybe just call this for now. Take a picture, work on it in studio. Okay, the palette I used for the piece, I got a little burnt umber I used for blocking in, touches of burnt sienna, some titanium white, ultramarine blue, cad yellow pale, some cobalt, some cad red, and a little bit of alizarin. There's my little mixes going on, but that's what I have so far. Okay, I'm going to put some last little pops of color. Mixing up some cad yellow and white. A little bit of the sienna white. And right in here, just add a little interest there. Just scooping up some cooler blue to do the same in this window shade. Okay, people, I'm here at home, just kind of set up on my patio here to do a little at-home analysis before I take it indoors. I like the piece a lot. I like how I captured the shadows quickly in the beginning with just using burnt umber. I knew they could change quickly because of the time of day, and I like how this house over here is not white to compete with my focal point. And I like the composition. I'm enjoying that. I want to work on the grass more. I'm not liking the grass so much, but not too concerned with that because that really wasn't my super focus in the piece. I like the sense of the hill going up a little bit, house going down, a little rounded knoll. I like that effect. I'll of course work on some finish aspects to the piece. This is about if I had to guess, probably about an hour and 20 minutes, I think. Actually, when I was painting this piece, as you probably saw, I'll probably put a couple clips in to show you what I was dealing with, but this nice guy stopped and was watching me, and we ended up talking pretty much the whole time I painted this. So I'm surprised I got such a fairly decent result, considering I was kind of distracted half the time. Now, there is something else I want to bring attention to, and that is, as I was cleaning up lines and such, perspective lines got off in relation to the angle of the house on the hill. So I'll have to adjust those lines, and I want to do that. I'll probably go ahead and work on that now to get that fixed before the paint sets up. I want to thank you for watching the video, and hope you enjoyed it. And again, I'd like to hear your comments on how I'm shooting these last several videos with the camera kind of held in front of me. I think it's a nice front row seat, and reduces some of the gear that I have to carry out in the field if I choose to set up like far away from the car and that sort of thing. So I'm not always going to do this, of course. I'd like to shake it up a bit, so let me know. And until next time, take care. Bye.